Did you know there are 3,200 billionaires in the world right now, and about 97 of them right here in London? How many of them do you have in your contacts? Now, here in London, I have been privileged enough to come into contact with certain wealthy people, and I've had casual conversations and interactions with them. And some of these interactions have given me unique insights into how billionaires operate. I've been able to observe their behaviors, some of their communication skills, and basically their decision-making processes literally sets them apart, which we can see allows them to thrive on a level most people can only imagine. There are a couple of things I have learned from my interactions with the very wealthy in my very small circle of friends and acquaintances. And today I will be sharing with you things that I've learned from my small circle of wealthy friends and acquaintances. When I look at my friends, the really wealthy ones, they seem to tend to basically prefer texting or sending messages rather than making phone calls. This is my personal observation. I don't know if anyone agrees with me, but this is what I have noticed about my very wealthy friends. They seem to just prefer to get text messages over calls, and I do tend to side with that. I do see the benefit of that because time for wealthy people is a great asset. It's a huge asset. Really rich people and wealthy people, they value their time above everything else and above anything else. You might even expect them to rely heavily on calls when they need to reach out to lawyers and meetings, but in reality, I think they really prefer communicating in text. Why? Because I think this is, from what I see, this is obviously quick. It's quick, it's efficient, it doesn't interrupt their flow. A phone call, however, might last several minutes and it's basically time away from making more money. But a text, it just takes a couple of seconds. Some of them have even told me how they've negotiated several amounts within a few seconds via text messaging. Some of them even say that they tend to have deals and close deals just by messaging within a few seconds and just closing that deal, and it's all done and dusted. A lot of time wasted in such instances when a lot of calls are involved. If you work within luxury or you engage a lot with millionaires and billionaires, you need to understand that they do not joke with their time. Try texting them instead. They do not want their time wasted, and they won't waste your time either. One other thing I've noticed is they are so efficient in decision making. It's almost like they were all born with it for some reason. They are so quick on making decisions. One of the really fondest memories I had in my interactions with the billionaire was at a dinner. The moment the waiter brought in the water to the table, they just ordered immediately. Absolutely no time wasted on reviewing the menu or asking for any specials. In fact, I think at one time it was more like, don't even bring the menu, just surprise us. You know, they just don't like their time being wasted. So it's quite interesting some of the behaviors I have noticed with the very affluent and wealthy people. Just imagine just going into the restaurant, not even bothering to look at the menu, no specials, just telling the waiter to surprise you with what's on the menu. You don't even have time to waste. Like, let's get going. Like, we're not here to review the menu, right? They are very quick with making decisions, even the very big ones. So I see that they cut down on like decision-making fatigue so that they can focus on what really matters in order to grow their business or their empire, right? A lot of us tend to focus too much on making decisions on just one thing, literally one aspect of our lives, one aspect of our business, one aspect of our relationship. We tend to spend so much time thinking things through without realizing decision fatigue. Have you ended your day feeling like you haven't really achieved much, but only trying to come to a decision or two? There is such a thing. One other thing I've noticed about them is their trust is earned and can easily be lost. They are so cautious about who they let into their inner circle. trust doesn't come easily to them because they've often been taken advantage of in the past. This is why it is really hard to get in touch with them or have them as friends or acquaintances or even as clients, because they've learned from their mistakes and they are so on guard with new people entering their sphere of influence. So when you're starting out a relationship with a wealthy person, you need to find a way to build trust with them. You know, if you work with them, you can sometimes offer certain things for free, offer your time for free. You know, if there are clients, waive of commissions on a few things here and there. And it really shouldn't be about money all the time. For most of them, it's literally about the gestures, what you're offering at one point that is not entirely about money. And aside that, you would want to get to know other people outside of their circles. And one thing I've loved picking up from wealthy colleagues and friends is how they focus on their strengths, right? They delegate everything else, focusing on their strength and delegating everything else. One of the most important things I've learned from them is they would focus on what they're best at and then delegate the rest. They don't get bogged down in the daily minute task. They would leverage other people's skills to handle anything outside their core competencies and strengths. And to be honest, it's something that I've really begun enjoy doing. For instance, where I'm spending my time more valuable doing other things that will bring me more money and delegating certain things like cleaning up my home, which I'm not very good at. So I delegate that skill to someone else who is more professional and can get it done within a certain number of hours rather than me trying to do it myself, and it's taking so much of my time and the return on that isn't quite the best. So I would rather spend a couple of pounds having someone tidy up the place while I spend my time doing something more productive or recovering from a very busy day. So this mindset is very good to have if you want to emulate the successes of billionaires. If you can delegate effectively, this is a really good tool to have, and I think that will take you many places if you are able to delegate. It just allows you to concentrate on the big decisions and high level things that is going to drive your day a bit more productively. So just give that a try and let me know how that goes. Now, of course, billionaires are human too. They just have what I would call high quality problems, but they are human beings just like you and I. And despite their wealth, billionaires are just like the rest of us in so many ways. They have problems, they have frustrations, they have moments of happiness. The difference is their problems are of a higher quality. One of my friends, I think at some point, was venting about a mechanical issue. This was a significant inconvenience, but they weren't complaining in a self-pity way. They just needed someone to talk to. Sometimes when your well-to-do friends call you, it's not really to complain about, it's literally to talk about something really trivial. They never really want to answer your phone calls. They're too busy making money. But then when their vehicle breaks down, they just need someone to talk to about it. And this is where you come in. Billionaires need people who can solve their high quality problems without judgment. If you can be that person for them, you would find yourself in good graces and possibly on their speed dial. Now, these are a few lessons I have learned from my interactions with really wealthy people in the last couple of years. And I really hope these insights will be valuable to you as they've been for me. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment with your thoughts on what else you would like for me to cover.